Right then, yeah, let's go for a drive. No, not yet, not yet. I'm sorry guys. Also sorry that it's taken me so bloody long to put a kind of second vid out on this little car. No excuse really. Made loads of progress, especially in the first lockdown. Yeah, it was quite good actually, and kind of getting all the little parcels every day. It was like Christmas. Kept me sane, especially working from home. It was quite nice to kind of have a bit of something to do in the evenings. And yeah, made loads of progress. First thing we did really was strip all the old loom out and reroute it quite nicely in one little place just down the sill. Kind of prepped all the interior and painted that. That took quite a bit of doing, and I don't know if you ever painted in an interior, but my god, I got high as hell. So stupidly high. Just like dizzy high, not like a good high, just a dizzy high. So that took a couple of attempts. I had to keep going outside and kind of stop myself from passing out. But yeah. So once all that was done and it was starting to look a bit more posh, it was basically spending the time picking and choosing the parts and really researching and kind of developing on what we did with the Mark II turbo I had. So yeah, things like sourcing the tillet. It's nice to actually be sat in the car now, and a fair bit of headroom actually. I mean, I'm 6 foot. Some will say I'm just under 6 foot. Matt will say that, but either way. I still think we might have to lower the floor. Say we. That'll be Ian at Retro Speed Shop. I ain't cutting holes out of my floor. I'll be crying so quickly. I'll be so out of my depth. But yeah, things like dropping the steering column on some little custom-made spaces, and you know, just getting a nice Sabout wheel and the nice carbon fibre panels to size. Making the door cards, that was really fun. There's quite a well-known company that sell these kind of door cards. Go on to Simply Plastics and you can get some custom sized sheet of PVC. It's 3mm PVC. You can cut it out with a Stanley knife. It takes minutes. Just bond them on. Easy. And some little pulls. Job done. I think that cost me about 20 quid. So I did a full kind of service on the VVT engine, new timing belt, water pump, and because we had the time, I ended up painting the block, painting the inlet, and just really deep cleaning everything. So with the VVT engine, a lot of people have asked me why I went for the VVT over the normal older engine, especially with it being a turbo conversion. Quite simply, it was all to do with finding a good condition engine. Finding one of the older engines now is actually fairly difficult, especially in low mileage one, whereas VVT engines now you can pick up for a few hundred quid and quite low mileage. The one I got for a few hundred quid, it's got 65,000 miles on it and a couple of owners, so it was a no-brainer for me. And I actually bought out of a complete donor car, so we chucked in the bigger brakes and quite a few bits. It was quite easy. 6-speed box is the one you want for turbo conversion as well, although I mentioned in the other vid I've gone for a 4.1 differential. Went for an ACT Extreme clutch and a RPC flywheel. Instead of going for the 1.8 kit, I actually went for the 1.6 kit because again, it's even lighter than you can get a 1.8 variant, and the RPC flywheel is actually much lighter. It's even on the website it's down as 3.4 or 3.6 kilograms, whereas if you actually weigh it, it's 3 kilograms. So brilliant stuff. It's really onto the turbo kit now. Yeah, I deliberated for quite a while because I want to get the car done, but I also want to make it as future-proof as possible. So I was really swaying towards a G19 TD04 kit because it's very nice, very effective, and really cost-effective. But the more I spoke to Boffy Racing, they kept pushing me towards a T2 footprint kit. And I agree with them. A TD04 kit, for what I need and what I want at this very moment on a standard VVT engine, with the rods being the way they are, a TD04 will do everything I need. I don't need to make massive power. I want 220, 230 horsepower. But moving on from that, in time I really do want to put some forged rods in there, and I really do want to make more of the potential of the whole setup. So the TD04 just wouldn't be as future-proofed. So we started then looking at the T2 kits, and I really didn't want a log manifold or a tubular manifold. I wanted a cast manifold. They're just awesome. Back 5-6 years ago, you couldn't really get any cast manifolds. Now, I ended up speaking to Michael at Kraken, who's over in the Balkans, and he has a very well-known, reputable side mount cast manifold kit. And I started speaking to him about that kit, and he said, if you can hold on and bear with me, I've got a new product coming out and I think you'll really love it. He sent me a few photos, and it was of a low mount cast kit with a cast elbow as well. And I saw the first pictures and I thought, yep, sold, done, yeah, awesome. So I contacted him in May, and I only actually got the kit September, October. He's been busy kind of developing it and ironing out all the kind of bugs. And I finally got it, and this massive box came, and I was absolutely over the moon with it. It's such a lovely kit and so well made. Not only did I obviously go for the manifold and the cast elbow, but he has done me a complete 3-inch system, all V-banded, all fantastically welded, with a MagnaFlow back box. He's also supplied me all the fitting kit for the turbo, so the oil feed, drain and coolant lines. It'll be interesting to see how hard, how difficult they are to fit with the turbo in this configuration. The only other thing I will have to do is clock the turbo I have, because the outlet's not facing the right way at the moment. But that obviously will mean me getting some kind of custom actuator as well, so I'm trying to work that out at the moment. But onto the turbo choice as well, I really was after a 54R turbo, and they're expensive, there's no doubt about it. They're bloody brilliant, but they're expensive, and for such a small turbo, I contacted Michael at Kraken and I said, look, I'm about to buy a 54R turbo, have you got any suppliers? And believe it or not, he gave me JK Fab's details. JK Fab, even though Michael's all the way over the other side of Europe, he gave me JK Fab's details, who are literally 40 minutes away from me down the road in England. So I managed to go and see him, and he basically said, look, there's no point in you getting the 54R turbo. For something that size and what you're planning to run, you're far better off having a hybridized turbo, T25 footprint turbo, save money for me, and his work comes with a lifetime warranty, so I was more than happy to go for that. So yeah, that's the turbo on the car now I've chose to go with. I really am interested to see how this hybridized turbo goes, and his built turbos are on quite a few really nice cars now that are doing really well. The UL12 wheels, an easy choice, being an 8.25 rim, just gives you that little bit more, so a 205 or a 215 tyre will sit really nicely on it. Helps that they're really cheap and flow formed too. I've gone for a 205 at first because it is just perfect on these arches. I will need to raise the front a bit now we've dropped the engine in. It's obviously loaded quite a bit more, but the rears, they sit just perfect in slightly pulled arches with obviously the arches rolled. If I went for a 215, I really think you'd need to get quite aggressive. You'd have to be doing something a lot less reversible, and I don't really want to be doing that, but I'm sure when I'm losing every race I enter badly, I'll be fighting for as much grip as I can and be absolutely butchering the arches and sticking 245s on pretty damn imminently. We'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. For me at the moment, it's a case of getting everything I can get done well, but I want to get using it. We can update everything moving forward. The brakes, for instance. The brakes I've literally sat, as we were told about the second lockdown, I kind of went out in a mood to the shed, to the garage, and I just sat and I refreshed all the old calipers with new seals and piston kits, just to keep me sane. So they'll all go on with a nice set of PBS pads, with the larger master cylinder as well, and I'll run them until I can afford a big brake kit. You never know, I might not even need one. But yeah, that'd be interesting. Again, with the brake pipes all being butchered to hell, I'll either make new brake pipes, or I'm really tempted. Venhill do a really nice kind of pick and mix, plug and play braided line system, so I might just get complete braided lines and a nice little brake bias to go and running through the car. I'm so looking forward to the day early next year when Matt and Dan are in the red ITB MX5 and I'm in this, and we can be chasing each other around Cadwell Park. So it's the kind of carrot for me, that. It's the kind of carrot that's pulling me through winter. We'll get this built, keep motivated, and yeah, so the next vid will be on basically taking it to Blink Motorsport and getting them to kind of cross the T's, dot the I's, do all the bits that I don't feel comfortable doing. You know, they're specialists for a reason. I'm just bolting shit together in a shed, if I'm honest with you, and having a bit of fun with the kind of intricacies of stuff, whereas the real bits I'll get an adult to do. So yeah, hopefully next vid, yeah, we'll be going to Blink Motorsport. They can have the car for a little while, get everything spot on pucker, and then we can get it on the dyno,